Hey guys, remember to hit like if you like the video, subscribe if you want to see more, and leave a comment so I know what you really think about me. Enjoy! Hey guys, Venixk here, back with more interactive horror stories. This time, The Crystal Skull, the worst Indiana Jones movie. You are a king who's loved by his people. You have a serious problem though. Your only child, Juliana, has an incurable disease and she is dying. You hear about Crystal Skull, which can cure illnesses, because that's a thing, and let people have visions. Is brought to your palace from the continent of America. So far away. It must be true. But your man warns you that Skull might be cursed. Will the Crystal Skull bring health to the princess or doom? Being a king is hard. Being a good king is even harder. You know this well as the sole ruler of the European kingdom in the age when America is discovered. Let's not include a year in there at all, because they barely don't know it. It's been 25 years since you ascended the throne. Your subjects are content with your rule, your country is in peace, and the people are wealthy. But there's something wrong with your life. Your daughter Juliana is ill. She's only 18, which is about midlife in that time of year. It's the equivalent to be about 40 nowadays. She has got an illness that nobody can cure yet. Princess is dying, and she's your only child and heir to the throne, which is completely not true because European countries didn't they were kingdoms, not queendoms, and females weren't allowed to ascend to the throne. Unless we're talking about specifically England, most European countries didn't allow queens to be the head ruler. They needed a king. Just saying. Every doctor you could find tried to cure her. You tried almost everything. Almost. You've been informed about a miraculous artifact unearthed in the continent of America. It's a human skull made of crystal. It amazes the scholars because no method is known to carve up such an excellent shape of a skull out of crystal. This skull doesn't belong to the world that you know, but to an ancient civilization that has been lost. But what amazes the scholars is not just the impossible creation. The skull is told to bring miracles to whom touches it with their bare hands. Some people tell that they saw visions from the future. Some tell that they saw how the human race has originated. And some tell that the skull can cure the illnesses. Those couldn't be cured with the medication available to your era. Naturally, you ordered your best men, to bring the miraculous skull to the palace. It's midnight now. You're in Juliana's chamber. She's lying in her bed, holding your hand as you sit by her bed. No candles are lit out inside. Full moon enlightens the princess's chamber, shining on her long blonde hair and blue eyes. She is too weak. Her skin is pale. She has under eye bags, showing her illness. Really? That means you're sick? Wow, I must be dying. Ugh. You already suffered the loss of your wife 10 years ago. But now you can't stand seeing your only daughter slowly die. Juliana asks you with a soft voice, Father, am I going to die? Eventually, yes. No, I won't allow that. I'm the king. She smiles. I know, Father. You are a mighty king. I know that you will do the best by your subjects and me. The door of the chamber is knocked on. The servants generally don't disturb the royal family members at night. So it must be something important. Come in. A brunette, boy. Do you mean brunette? Or is brunette a word? One of your servants gets inside the chamber with politeness. He looks in and she says, Your Majesty, the artifact has been brought. You have been waiting for this moment for a long time. Kiss Juliana's forehead. I will come back. After you kiss Juliana's forehead saying, I will come back, she brings your hand to her pale lips and kiss her. Then you leave Juliana alone in her chamber. At the exit of Juliana's chamber, you see Sir William, one of the knights those were appointed with the task of bringing the ancient skull. He's a strong man with black hair and round beard. Round beard? What? He wears gloves and holds a bag. Your Majesty, he says and kneels before you. Seeing on stand, let's go to my study. Sir William advises you to walk to your study chamber. The chamber is well lit with silver candle holders. All the furniture are classy. It's a king's study room after all. There's only one chair. It's for you, and you sit on it. Sir William stands by you and slowly pulls the artifact from his bag. You push the books on the study desk to open space for the artifact. Here it is, he says, and gently puts the crystal skull on the study desk. The skull is truly a masterpiece, if it is crafted by humans. All the details of a human skull are imprinted with care and on raw crystal. Lights coming from the candles are reflected inside the crystal, gaining various colors of a rainbow. It's magnificent, but you sense something sinister, something that doesn't belong to our world. Did anyone touch it? Yes, we did touch the skull with our bare hands, and we all had visions. We took glances from our future. Some of us saw how they would die, some of us saw our grandchildren. He continues, well, maybe we shouldn't have touched the skull. The day we're about to leave, a native man came to us. He looked like the chief of his tribe. He knew little of our language. Well, he shouted some words that we could understand. Cursed, no touch. So I touched the skull with our bare hands again. I know that our princess needs to find the cure. I also know that we received valuable information about the magic powers of this skull when it comes to incurable diseases. Very reliable, I'm sure. But Your Majesty, I've got a very bad feeling about this skull. I believe that the wise decision is to throw this skull in the sea. I can't let her die. She will touch the skull. The knight sighs. As you wish, Your Majesty. But if you're going to bring the skull to her, I wish you would wear gloves. I'm the king. You do not tell me what to do. You ignore the knight, touch the skull with bare hands, and instantly find yourself in a vision. In a vision, you're in the middle of a ritual. There are about 100 naked humans around you, forming a circle whose center is you. That's normally what being around you means. They're all prostrating themselves, worshipping you. It's nighttime. The plain air is lightened with torches and stars. You see a stepped pyramid nearby. It's made of huge stone blocks. You realize that you are the crystal skull. You can't see yourself, but you are completely aware of what you are. These naked people are worshipping you, the crystal skull. Then the vision changes. Now is not night morning. Now it is not night morning. It is raining like hell. There is a huge flood. Unclothed, red-skinned humans scream against drown because of the disastrous torrent, and you, as a skull, drift away. You open your eyes and turn back to who you really are, the good king. Sir William looks at you. You thank Sir William for his service, let him go. You carry the skull to her chambers, you enter her chamber, and see she has a subject. She rises it up and sits on the bed. She looks at the skull and all. It looks marvelous and scary, she says. You approach Juliana. Let her touch the skull. She holds the skull, rubs her hands around it. Ooh. Nothing. Is something supposed to happen? She asks, then gives the skull back. Then she continues, let's wait for tomorrow morning. Maybe it shows its effects then. So you decide to leave her alone and let her sleep. The skull will be staying in your study chamber. After this time of day, you go to your chamber. There are no guards at the door. You just trust everyone in the palace. You are a loved king. The furniture are luxurious in this chamber too. You take a glance at your reflection. Sure. You take pride in how you look. You're a middle-aged man, but you still look as handsome as you were young. Your looks are an important factor that makes you a charismatic leader, besides being fair and wise. And humble. Let's not forget humble. Go to sleep, dude. You lay your nightgown and get into your bed. There's a bed for two, but you haven't slept with anyone since your wife passed away. It was a secret that you keep from everyone. Sometimes you hug the second pillow in your bed, as if it was someone you love. You do this since your childhood. Nobody needs to know. It doesn't take long for you to fall asleep. You wake up in the morning. Something is wrong. You can't move your arms. No, not your arms. You can't move any part of your body. You're paralyzed. Then suddenly your body starts to move involuntarily. It stands up without your consent. Your feet bring you to the mirror. You see your face in the mirror. You're terrified. But there's a grin on your face. You're no longer in control of your body. You're merely a bystander of what it does. It brings you to the throne room with confident stance. Soldiers salute you, to be exact. It. As you enter, it sits on the throne and shouts with one voice, "Bring me my daughter!" You watch guards accompany Juliana. She comes in the presence and shouts, "I don't want her stuff anymore. Kill her." Juliana is shocked. "What? Father, please." She's not the only one surprised in the room. Everyone looks at you, looks at each other with shock and shouts, "You heard your king! Execute her!" You try to shout, but your screams are buried inside the head of the king. Juliana gets on her knees and cries in despair, but in vain. Two black masked decapitators come into your presence. One holds a crying blonde girl, the other holds the sword. You can do nothing but watch as your precious daughter gets decapitated. Her head falls down and rolls the floor gets filled with her blood. Days pass. It continues to control your body. You mourn for your daughter inside the body that once belonged to you. You watch it rule your country with an iron fist. It orders all the churches to be burnt and priests be hanged. Of course, there are people uprise against the new king. Suppresses revolt filled with violence. Anyone who stood against the king gets tortured. Their eyes are poked, skins flayed. Soon it orders people to worship it as a deity. The God King declares war against other countries. It doesn't take long for other countries to form an alliance against the God King. In a fateful battle in your capital, the God King loses his horse. The evil king gets killed while desperately searching for a horse. A horse! A horse! My kingdom for a horse! And this is how your soul finally breaks free to heaven to see your family once again. Okay. Let's try that again. Okay, so I wore gloves this time when I touched it, so I didn't get the vision. And now, when Juliana touches it, this happens. After 10 seconds, she opens her eyes with a gasp. I saw things. I don't know how to describe them. They were pitch-black creatures, so ugly. Their eyes, they were red as flames. They all stared at me. Please keep this thing away from me, please. I want to be alone. So you decide to keep the skull in your study. Take a glance at reflection. Examine myself. Humble. Father. You wake up to Juliana's voice. She gently holds your shoulder. You look at her. She has a happy smile on her face. Her skin's not pale, but saturated with life. She no longer has bags under her eyes. I feel wonderful. She takes a few steps back and starts dancing. You laugh with happiness. Stand up and hug her. Juliana walks in the corridors of the palace, dancing and laughing. You and the people of the palace are very happy to see her this way. She used to be like a ghost before. You plan a feast and invite all the lords in the kingdom. A few days later, every lord arrives to the capital to celebrate the health of the princess. At the feast, Juliana is in the center of everyone's attention. She talks with everyone joyfully, makes jokes, makes people laugh. When the feast is over and it's midnight, everyone goes to the chambers reserved for them. You accompany Juliana to her chamber. You put a kiss on her forehead before laying her asleep. Then you go to your own chamber and fall asleep in peace. You wake up to the sound of knocking on your chamber's door. It's still night. You wonder who dared to wake you up at this hour. It's the same brunette boy who had informed you about the rival skull. Your Majesty, I'm deeply sorry for disturbing you this hour, but there's something wrong. There are laughing sounds come from the princess's chambers. It's her voice, but it doesn't sound normal. I'm going to check it. You walk to her chamber. Like the servant said, hysterical laughter comes from inside. You decide to enter. You see Juliana in the balcony of her chamber, facing her back to you? She laughs under the pale moonlight. You approach her and put your hand on her shoulder. She turns back to you. Her face is normal, smiling. Just when you were going to ask if she was okay, she responds, I know it looks funny, Father, but I'm fine. Please leave me alone, she says. She stops laughing, gets in her bed with a smile on her face. You decide to leave her alone. You go back to your chamber. You can't sleep. You feel something is wrong. So wrong. The door of your chamber opens. There's only one person who's allowed to enter without knocking on the king's door. So you understand that it's Juliana who entered. Like you guessed, you see her daughter's silhouette. She closes the door and approaches you with a smile on her face. She leans down to you, gently pulls the other pillow that you don't use. Juliana is dead, she says, pushing the pillow on your face. You struggle, but whoever or whatever is trying to kill you is too strong. The king is dead. Long live the king. Okay, Scar. Jeez. Why is your daughter committing patricide and regicide, referring herself as king rather than queen? That doesn't make sense. This is the end of your reign and life. After all, you, a middle-aged man, and no match for an 18-year-old daughter. You lack the physical strength. Okay, so there should be one more ending, which might be slightly more difficult. Because it's not binary now. Now I actually need to figure it out. Let's toss the skull. I imagine that'll be the last thing. I'm glad you agree with me, Your Majesty. So he packs the skull back in the bag. You two get outside the palace and get on your horses to ride the docks. When you reach the docks, Sir William finds stones and fills the bag with it. Then he throws the bag. Your only hope for killing Juliana to the bottom of the dark sea. I know how hard it must be, but maybe this is the best for all of us. You hope that he is right. Really? That's a boring end. That was... It bothers me. Like, in games that have multiple endings, if one ending has significantly more or less writing than the other endings. Like, this ending was very abrupt and just had, like, so much less writing involved than the other one. Than the other endings, making it seem lazy. I mean, the same thing happened with the after funeral thing. If you just unplug your computer immediately, then it sort of ends, but if you play along, it lasts longer. The dial was good because both endings were about the same length. And it was more of a, if you select all the right answers and let your kid be a kid, then you don't die. Whereas these two, it's like, oh yeah, whatever. Make this decision and would just end immediately. Or make other decisions and you get a longer story, even though it might not be good. I don't know. I'm complaining about a free game. I'm an asshole. Anyways, thank you guys so much for stopping by watching the video. If you like the video, do the thing that does the thing, that lets me know about the thing. And until next time, bye-bye.